I think quite often we're so focused on healthy eating all the time to the extent that it becomes an obsession for people. So
There's a good reason Hope is so passionate about food and health. It's because when she was 17, she almost died. Hope spent a year in hospital being treated for the eating disorder anorexia. Her weight loss was so drastic, her heart almost stopped working.
They kept telling me, you look really underweight, you're really skinny, like you look like you're an anorexic person. But whenever I looked in the mirror, I just didn't see that image back. And it meant that whenever they said it, I just convinced myself that everyone was trying to make me fat and take away this one thing in my head that made me feel so good about life. I had this like thin layer of hair over the whole of my body, which I found out afterwards is something to actually try and keep your body warm from everything. And I have got osteoporosis, which is a long-term effect of the illness.
Anorexia is a complex issue, and there are many drivers: mental health, anxiety and trauma, for example. Social media may be playing a role too, but whatever the reasons, anorexia among children and young people could be on the rise. It's almost double the original estimate. Research conducted in 2006 shows there were 1.5 cases of anorexia per 100,000 children aged between 8 and 12 years old. But a new study suggests the figure is over double that, at 3.2 cases per 100,000 children. The study shows older teenagers are still the most vulnerable group, with incidence rates of anorexia highest for 15-year-old girls and 16-year-old boys. Professor Sarah Byford, the report's author, told me one reason for the increase could be attributed to a greater awareness of anorexia, but she warned that this trend should not be ignored.
Anorexia nervosa is most common in adolescents, in teenagers aged between 15 and 16. So most of the services will be set up for teenagers. What we need now is to make sure that those services are able to also deal with much younger children, some as young as 8, 9, 10.
Hope now understands what triggered her anorexia, and she's confident she's back in control of her life. But sadly, the figures prove there are a growing number of youngsters who will need the same help to win their battles with this devastating condition. Ashish Joshi, Sky News.